call the meeting to order. Has everybody had a moment to look at the minutes from the previous meeting? I did have a couple of minor corrections to Leanne, but other than that, I thought they looked fine. Anybody else?
I might be approved.
Moved by Larry, second by Kale. All in favor? All right, motion passed. Cody, Sheriff's
Okay.
report. You're up.
All right, I'm going to start off here. I did a kind of put together a survey, lack of a better word, of how we stack within our own county between district court, municipal courts, and then how that compares to other counties and cities that are out there. And before we start, I was talking to Amanda earlier today about this, and I want to straighten out if there's a miscommunication to you guys and me. Years ago when we made this contract, it was made very clear to me that the city did not want an overabundance of cases ran through their municipal court because of the cost of having to pay the hourly fee to the lawyer and things like that. So it's unfair to me to say there's only one person left on city council that was here then. I don't know what your guys' wishes are as you sit on city council now of what do you guys want. I don't know if your guys' opinion on that has changed, if you want to see a lot of things go through the city court or not. And we'll talk more about that as we go through this survey so you kind of understand what other people are doing and what that does. So in Cheyenne County, in district court, sorry I take off my glasses, I'm an old man, I didn't bring my reading glasses. We had 28 cases in district court so far this year, from January 1st to now. 11 of those were cases that could have been ran through city court if we wanted to. 4 of them were cases that could have also been ran through Birch City, but were chosen not to run through Birch City Court and go through district court. The other 13 were strictly straight up county cases. And remember, like juveniles and things like that are going to be a county case irregardless of what city limits they generated in. Because you're just not going to run those cases, felonies, juvenile cases, things like that through a municipal court no matter what. Criminal cases. So there's 13 that would have ended up on the county docket irregardless. 11 from St. Francis that could have ran through the case. And let me stop and say these do not include traffic offenses. These are just criminal cases, not traffic. 4 from Birch City. St. Francis Municipal Court, we have 1 case in St. Francis Municipal Court in 2024 from January until now. There are 17 cases that have been in Birch City Municipal Court from January to now. It gives a total of 46 total cases that the Cheyenne County Sheriff's Office has submitted to the courts in 2024. If we compare that to Rawlins County, they have 14 total criminal cases in their district court. 18 in their municipal court, or 14 in their county district court. 18 only criminal cases, not county traffic, in their municipal court. Atwood still has their own police department, and they like everything. They run DUIs, domestic violence, they run everything through their municipal court unless it's a felony and qualifies to go to district court. McDonald, who's kind of the blind horse in the race that wins, has 5 criminal cases in their district court, but they have had 83 traffic cases, which is the highest cases in the 15th Judicial District, excluding Thomas County and Sherman. Because of population, I did not compare numbers to those 2 counties, just so you're aware. Giving them a total of 37 cases. So we're 9 cases ahead of Rawlins County, which has a sheriff's office and 2 police departments, even though 1 police department's only a 1-person police department. So we're still 9 cases ahead of them. Wallace County had 11 through district court, 2 in their municipal court, both again criminal, not counting traffic tickets, which gives them a total of 13 so far this year. Logan County has 37 in district, 28 in their municipal court, but that also includes traffic. They could not segregate the traffic cases out, only the criminal cases, for a total of 65. So we are second to Logan County, and because I have an ego, I'd like to point out Logan County has like 4 troopers that live in town, so they kind of hunt where they where they live, so you should be getting a lot more cases there than we do here. Going back to what I'm presenting to you guys, and then going to ask a question about is, like I said, let's go back to Atwood PD. I know Brian and Travis, they do a great job over there, and that's the way their city likes it. They like to have everything. Unless it qualifies or only can go to district court, they want to run it through the municipal court. I think that's a little overboard because, again, you're burdening resources. You got to provide lawyers. You have a DUI. DUI cases can drag out for 2 years. You got lab results. You got all kinds of things that make it driver's license suspensions, communication with the DMV, all of those things kind of get a little complicated. I think my opinion is, and you can take my opinion or leave it, running everything through your municipal court would end up being a huge financial burden for you guys. But I also think we could run a heck of a lot more through your guys' municipal court.
Such as?
Infractions, misdemeanors, anything like that. Low-level misdemeanors. I'm not being exaggerating. I'm saying, of these cases, you have everything on the 11 that could have ran through, that legally could have ran through. You have everywhere from DUIs to littering. If you take the DUIs out, you take the driving while suspended out, things like that out, you're left with, you have cases anywhere from littering to, misdemeanor battery, misdemeanor assault, harassment by telephone, things like that. And that's totally up to you guys. I'm willing to work anyways. But I also, like I said, I think it's fair to have a communication and ask that question again, because when that question was first presented and we first made this plan, we first started doing that, there's hardly anybody on city council anymore. That was part of that original plan. We spent a lot of time making the contract originally. We came up with about 3 scenarios that we brought in to the city council. Of those 3 scenarios, the best way to describe it is there was a premium package, and it was real expensive. There was a middle of the road package, a little bit less expensive, and there was a basic bare bones package, and it was the cheapest. And that's what the city council at the time chose, was the bare bones minimal package. And that's what we went through. And that's one of the reasons why it was decided to run things through district court as much as we could. We were trying to find ways, and it's like I told the city council then, if you want this, if you want the premium package, nobody's going to save money. The city's not going to save any money. The county's not going to save any money, and the taxpayer's going to be spending more money. And nobody wants to do that. So we chose C, the basic package, and that included not running very many things through municipal court. If that's something you guys want to revisit, the expense is not on me running things through the municipal court. I want to say that. It doesn't raise my contract price. It doesn't raise what I need to do it. The expense is 100% on you paying Lauren, defense attorneys, judges, things like that to have, it's going to increase her workload. It's going to increase, she's probably going to have to take more training to do DMV things and stuff like that. That's where the expense is going to be. The expense isn't writing a check to the county, to the sheriff's office for doing more stuff, but there's a backside expense to you guys if we run it there. But it also gives you more idea of what's going on in your city, gives you more, not really control because you're not the judge, but you control the process by having your prosecutor do things, and your prosecutor works for you. You are her customer, and that's where it gives you guys a little bit of control of how you run your court. That's something I'd really like to revisit because, to be honest, I would like to be running more than loose dogs to the city court. I'd like to be running a lot of things through the city court. A lot more of it's all minor stuff. I can't run a homicide through your city court, but I'm not talking about that stuff, just minor stuff. But it also includes, right now, if I arrest somebody for breaking somebody's cell phone, right? I'm trying to think of real cases we've had in St. Francis this year. Grabs a cell phone out of somebody's hand, breaks it in anger. Okay, who's taking the brunt of the phone calls? Me, Leslie, Natalie. If I arrest somebody for that and I run through city court, who's taking the brunt of the phone call? Still me, but Leanne and Lauren, and that's something to consider as well. But I'd like to hash that out tonight if possible, because like I said, it's unfair of me to go off of what somebody told me 7 years ago they wanted done. We have a new city council, new ideologies, new thoughts, and I want to run that by you guys.
Well, just to clarify, I think there was 4 of us here when
Was there?
Yes, yeah.
Not originally when Mike
7 years ago.
I think so.
Was there that many?
Yeah.
Okay. I was counting you. I'm sorry, but okay. But anyways,
Yeah. I was here. I'm sure Dara would have been here.
yeah, Dara would have
Dara
been
was
here.
here before me.
Yeah, I was here.
Were you here when we made the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kale was?
I think I was.
He was on before us.
Yeah, because I remember
Well,
that.
I'm the one with the bad memory then, huh?
I was
so,
trying
no.
to think, because you guys came on when Mike was there. How long has Lauren been?
Mike was there.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
was.
Well, then I apologize for the misrepresentation of the number,
No, that's fine.
but still, it's time to revisit it
Yeah.
because Amanda and I, we get to talk a lot. As the mayor and the sheriff, we talk about city things, and that's something. It's good that Amanda and I talk, but I'd like to know what your guys' opinion on that
So
is.
what kind of things would you shift back to municipal, in your opinion?
Petty thefts, shoplifting from Dollar General, things like that. Traffic. I mean, any level. If you guys say, well, we only want traffic ran through city court, or we just want little thefts, or we don't want anything. We want to keep it the way it is. It doesn't bother me one way or another. I just want to have that communication.
Does it make any difference as far as the teeth behind it, which direction you go?
If they're going to go to probation, honestly, the teeth's probably better at district court. Because then again, you're putting a burden on your system of Leanne having to communicate with probation, community service, setting up appointments, things like that.
Sure.
Honestly, the answer is yes. There's more teeth behind it in district court. Not necessarily more teeth, but more oversight, more things like that. I don't even know how it works when a municipal court, because your probation officers are district court officers. So I don't know how that even that works for the probation. I would say that, and this is my opinion, you can take it, leave it, whatever. That's why a lot of cities want to run their traffic in city ordinances through court, because there's not probation, it's a fine. Your infractions, whether it's a fine only, and maybe there's an arrest if they failure to pay the fine or failure to show up for court, but they're not having to put somebody in jail for long term. Because I'm going to tell you this shows our cases that ran through district court. What you don't see is the thing that keeps us the busiest, and that's probation violations. I would say probably close to 60% of our arrests would say are probation violations, or they're on probation and it's going to be a probation violation.
Yeah, around half of it.
So, that's the thing that keeps us the busiest. And you guys, if you run your court and you're putting people on probation, you're going to be involved in that. Now we got, well, let me rephrase that. The most expensive part of my jail budget is probationers.
But you wouldn't have that with city ordinance issues or some minor stuff, would you?
No, not unless they just turned out to be a complete turd, didn't pay their fines, didn't show up for court. They would have to, the suspect would have to take it way far. It'd be completely obstinate to the whole procedure.
What, can you give us an idea of what kind of coverage we're getting in town right now?
Coverage-wise, I give you.
I'm just.
Well, I'm trying to think and give it to honest, because it's not honest to count me, because I'm over here in the office. I'm not out driving around patrolling. I do randomly, but not. I would say, the best person to ask is these guys. Obviously, they're both in town right now. I told them if they're in town, they'd come by, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I would say at least half of their shift is spent in St. Francis. So if you split that into 2 shifts, you're probably getting 20 to 24 hours a day, and that's why I'm stumbling with my words, because that sounds like there's somebody in town 24 hours a day. What I'm saying is between like both of them being in town,
Yeah.
That for an hour, that's 2 hours. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to say there's somebody in town 24 hours a day. No, but they probably put 20 to 24 hours between. When we go through a day, you go through 4 deputies every day, or 3 deputies and myself every day, except on Saturday and Sunday. And then you have just the afternoon into the evening. On the morning, there's nobody out patrolling. So you're going to average 20 man hours, is how I'd say, about 20 man hours a day. That the deputy then on Sunday, that's going to drop down to probably 10 man hours on Sunday. So that's what you're getting for coverage. Now, that is kind of misleading, and I want to present this honestly. That's kind of misleading. Just because they're in town doesn't mean they're patrolling. They could be looking for that guy that we have a warrant for probation violation. They could be up the office typing a report and things like that. But they're within a 5-minute response time to something that happens in town about 20 hours a day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
I don't know, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I'd like to sit down with the council at some point and talk about a cost-benefit analysis and really look hard at what municipal is costing us, what the pros and cons are one way or the other.
yeah. And I'm not really wanting an answer tonight. I just want to present the question to you guys
Well,
tonight.
and here's my thought. We have time to discuss it. We're going to have a new judge at some point come in January.
Mm-hmm.
Let's maybe get stuff worked out toward January. We can implement if we want to change.
That's fine.
And
I
that
just-
way we've got somebody new coming on board. And
My biggest thing is my reputation takes enough of a hit because I violate the contract and don't come to your meetings. What I also don't need is to take a hit for you guys to look at the district court numbers and ask for the stats and say, why isn't anything in our court? I want to make sure that we're working together as a team so we understand statistics and understand why certain things aren't in your court, but certain things might be. And also, again, I'm going back to like what I said about Warren. You are my customer. What do you guys want? I want to listen to what you guys want and what you think benefits the city the best.
What about a report each month of what is actually going on?
We
The rest,
yes,
everything else.
and we can give that, and I'm required to by the contract. We stopped when Eric left work, and it's going to pick back up. Janelle went and took the training to be able to extract that from Interpol. It's not as simple as what we thought it was, but you would have got a report this time, but Janelle's sister's really sick, and she wasn't at work today. That is something, and I'll get to why I asked these 2 guys to come, and I'll ask other guys to come. Because the contract says, myself or one of my representatives shall be at every city council meeting, or one city council meeting a month, wasn't that what it says? And I know I failed you guys on that. And part of that is my micromanaging and not allowing a deputy to come if I'm doing something. And in the future, I will try to come to those meetings, but I'm going to have the deputy that's 10-8 and out come to the meeting. So there's a fail-safe that somebody will be at the meeting and be able to present a report and ask questions. Hey, what's going on? We heard this or we heard that. What's going on with that? And they should be able to answer within. They can answer questions, they just can't change policy. Does that make sense? Hey, we want you to guys start to doing this. Okay, I'll talk to Cody and see what he says. But I want to have the deputies be more active and come in here. In the past, I was kind of a little bit of a micromanager, and it was either me or nobody. And that obviously was not working. So.
Anybody else have concerns or questions?
I think what Amanda says is a good plan. Once we get a new judge, we can all kind of decide how we want
a
to.
few months to kind of
Yeah.
talk over what we want, if we want to implement.
And like I said, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I just want to make sure that it's communicated.
Yeah.
Because I can see, if I sent this over and I didn't come explain it and you go, he's only done one thing for us in 8 months of the year. He's only done one thing for us. Yeah. In actuality, it's 11. And if you guys know the court system, not everything we do makes a district court case. Does that make sense? This isn't counting like infraction tickets or minor tickets and things like that. These are criminal, misdemeanor and above cases. So it's kind of misleading. I am defending myself in a way of, if you look at this, if we exclude Thomas County and Sherman County for the obvious reasons, they're going to have a lot more stuff just because they have a lot more population. Rollins County, Walls County, Logan County, we're fairly even with them population-wise within the scope. And we're second in the district on court filings. I think that's fair enough to say I hate saying we're second best at anything. I want to be the best at, I want to be number one, not second, but we're second best at getting cases. And we are leading the district in successful cases. I can't take all the credit of that. It takes a whole team, clerks, law enforcement, prosecutors, everything to reach that goal. That's not something that just we do to make it work. It takes a whole team on that. But like I said, obviously, I'm saying this with some hubris, and I'm trying to say it without hubris. If we're doing the second best in the district at getting things into court, if you want things in your court, we will get things in your court, is what I'm saying. So that's kind of what I want. I would like, that sounds fair enough. And when we get a new judge, we can talk about it then and have an answer going into the new year, so that I can kind of, deputies, they're like my children. I love them, but sometimes it takes like 2 months to get them to do things. If I say start writing St. Francis tickets instead of writing district court tickets, I'm going to have like 4 or 5 of them come in that still wrote a district ticket. And I'll be like, I thought I told you guys. And it's nothing against them. Change is always hard. Because I say to deputies, I'm going to write 2 or 3 district court tickets instead of a city ticket at the beginning too. It's just muscle memory, which pad you grab. If you're used to never grabbing the City of St. Francis ticket book out, you have the district court ticket first, you're going to grab it. It's just, if we do decide that, like I said, it's just, I want enough time that we can retrain, restructure, rechange how we do things so that we can start doing things here. Because like I said, if I could be second only to a county that's dramatically bigger to us, then I know we could get things for you guys if that's what you want. If that's not what you want, I just want you guys to understand why there's only one hash mark
Well, I think,
at the city.
and I think this goes for all of us, because we've all brought this question up. We just want to know what's going on in the community. Is there something we need to address to help out?
Yeah, and that's fair. And this is kind of, I don't know how you want to say it, but it's St. Francis. We're not having cartel drug feuds in the streets, things like that. We do have a significant lower than average, even for a city of our size, crime ratio. So those numbers, like I said, I'll start getting those to you now. But they have not changed from in the past of how many things we had. And if you see what we're busy with, we're not busy with investigating a drive-by. We're investigating a dog, neighbor's dog's barking, or child custody case, or tardiness for school and things like that, which I'm extremely happy that's what we do.
Sure.
I'm not sitting here going, God, I wish we had some real bona fide gangsters in our town that shot at each other, We don't want that. The problems we do have, we don't like having. Anyways, the drug problems we have, we don't like having those drug problems, but you're never going to have a community that's 100% free of those things. We just have to address them as much as we can, and as legally as we can, and constitutionally as we can. But, it's like, we're just as likely to be called to somebody sleeping alongside the road in the ditch, a hitchhiker or something, than we are a major crime. It happens every once in a while. We've had homicides, we've had things like that. It does happen, but it's not a daily thing like in some places. But I understand exactly what you're saying. You guys have voters to answer to. What are you guys doing? What's going on? And I completely understand that. So.
Another thought, maybe since when we sat down initially, it was you, Lauren, and Mila and I, correct? And we kind of hashed out how we want to. Maybe we would need to revisit that with Leanne, kind of how we run things, whether they're warnings, whether they're tickets, what's ran through City Hall as opposed to the Sheriff's Department, just so everybody's back.
And I love that idea, because I'm trying to do that with a lot of things. This is kind of like my reminder in my brain is when a new term comes in. And in November, hopefully I win again. Nobody runs against me as a write-in. I win again. That's like my trigger. It's time to sit down and talk to the schools, talk about memorandum of understandings with the schools. It's time to start talking to the City of Bird City, the City of St. Francis, see where we're at on everything, and let's get everything organized and ready to go for the next 4 years. And that's always kind of my trigger as an election year. That's when I go around and It's time to look at these contracts. And it's fair because contracts get dated. You know, we made a contract, or we sat down to do negotiations. I don't think it was signed until after COVID, if I remember right. But you know, we started the negotiations before COVID. It's a completely different world now than what it was before COVID. You know, it's hard to get stuff. It's hard to get supplies. It's hard to get deputies. Nobody wants to work. You know, I'm proud that we are one of the few fully staffed law enforcement agencies in Western Kansas. We're one of the few fully staffed 911 centers in Western Kansas. And we're not the best paying, so that's not the reason. But I'm really proud of that. You go anywhere else, and they're short 2-3 people. When you're talking about 6-man sheriff's offices being short 2 or 3 people, that's half their staff. You know, so I'm really appreciative of that. I'm really appreciative of my guys. I'm really appreciative of what they do. I'm really appreciative of the guys and girls that work in dispatch, and I'm appreciative I have them because a lot of places don't. And yeah, things change is the point of that, and it'd be good to go over those things because positions have changed, people have changed. I have a different undersheriff than what I had then. I have a different office manager than I had then. We're going to have a new judge. We're going to have a new clerk. You know, it's like everything's changing, so it's a perfect time to discuss what works for us now compared to what worked for us in 2020. So sad to say, but 2020 is getting to be almost a half a decade ago, and a lot of things changed in a half a
That's
decade.
still an earmark of, you know,
Yeah.
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. So I symbolize my life by pre-9/11, post-9/11, and post-9/11 is broke down into pre-COVID or post-COVID, you know.
So your daughter births don't fit into that?
Yeah, they're both pre-COVID, but their schooling was, one of them has gone to school almost completely, you know, post-COVID, and it's, you know, it's kind of a little
Different.
a little different. So, but yeah, it's worth going over again, and it's worth going over again in a couple years. It's always worth going over again because, like I said, things changes. You know, we do this contract, and I don't mean this in a bad way. We do this contract, and we do what we've been doing, and what you guys are asking me to do, and then we have a population surge, and those dynamics do change. You know, and we start having more violent crime. It's time to review that contract. Do we need to have somebody in town, literally in town, 24 hours a day? Do we need 2 guys in town, literally? You know, it bears going over. So, and I'm open to that. Whatever you guys entertain. And like I said, I'm not trying to push one way or the other on the municipal court on the charges that we put in there and what we do, but I just wanted to make sure it's a communication between you guys, my customer, and me, of what you guys want, and I'm providing what you want, and I'm getting into court what you guys want. One thing is I think, you know, talk about times changing. I think those days are over when cities revenued by speeding tickets, catching people with speed traps going through town, because it's very expensive to fight a ticket. If somebody decides to fight a ticket, you're in the red. You know, even if you win, you get the full fine amount, you're in the red by the time you paid the lawyer and had court 4 or 5 times to get things settled out. If people pay their tickets, you make money. But I think the day of revenuing by law enforcement is kind of coming to an end because of that. So, but theoretically, the criminals should be paying for the court themselves. You should be creating enough revenue that at least it's not a burden on the city to do those things. So.
Anything else for Cody?
No, that's
So
good.
you will
Okay.
have a few months to,
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I wasn't looking for an answer today. I just wanted to present it and say,
yeah,
It's good.
I think it's worth going over. So,
Thank you.
we're good. Thanks, Cody.
and I'm sorry that I forgot so many of you were on city council. I apologize. I really thought Kale was newer than what he
Cried
was.
myself
So.
to sleep tonight.
So,
And you thought you were old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seems like it was forever ago.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
who was on here
And like I said, that
like
pre-COVID,
Mike was here
post-COVID, it
still,
just seems like pre-COVID was a long time ago.
Because I
Yeah.
thought like Lauren's been here, you know.
Yeah, because I remember, you know,
You were on with Mike. Yeah.
Mike started it. Did we have it finished by the time Mike left, or was Lauren in on the tail end? I can't remember.
She came in after the fact.
After the
Yeah,
fact?
and
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because I know I sat down in Mike's office many an hour going over going over that contract. And it seemed like a lot of work for something that was only 2 pages long when it was done. But there was a lot of hours sitting down in his office talking to him about what was wanted. Talked to Roger a lot about what was wanted. So I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
And gentlemen.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Yes.
See you guys.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
evening, guys. Do you want 14 back here?
Is he calling on your phone or this
He's
one?
calling,
Oh, guess I'll motion to accept his report.
Yeah, just, do I have a motion to accept and file the sheriff's report?
No,
Moved by Carol,
Second.
second by Dara, all in favor? That motion passed. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good. I'm sorry, the sheriff was here.
Do we need to go in executive?
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Anyways, the sheriff popped in before you, so we were a little bit later getting you in.
Okay.
So, anyways, we will. You think 15 minutes to start with?
Yeah, I think that'd be plenty.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session for 15 minutes for attorney-client privileged correspondence with the council, and we have the city treasurer and the city clerk. Dan, the superintendent's not in here right now.
Okay.
Do you mind if the two gals are here?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay. I guess we'll do it with everybody in here.
So,
Moved by Kale, second by Justin, all in favor? All right. We're out of executive session, and do I hear a motion to go back in for 10 minutes?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Kale, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. Okay, we're out of executive session, no decisions were made. Building, I guess I should text them. Building permits, do you know? Nothing. How about we go to pool report?
pool report.
Yeah, pool report, quick report, really.
I'm having a pool board meeting tomorrow night at the pool, just to kind of go over this year and what our potential options are for the next year. I really want to talk about the possibility of getting adults to see if we could get any adult interest in being lifeguards that could help us carry out further in the season. I don't know if there's any issues at the pool right now, but the last day is Friday. As far as any kind of pool usage, and I think they'll be draining it right after that. I'll know a little more after tomorrow night if there's any other items that need to be brought up or discussed.
A motion to accept and file the pool report. So moved by Dara, second by Bud, all in favor? Clerk report.
So I gave you guys the third options memo for you guys to just see what they're doing. I also gave you guys a map that is colored, just to show you guys a visual of what streets have been done with what. I know my coloring is great, isn't it?
No, you're dealing with a guy that's partially colorblind.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll work on that. I'll do designs instead. Just to give you guys, like, what was done in the first street project, what was done in the second, the chip sealing that was just completed. I went over it with Dan, just to let you guys know. I put X's. Hey, there you go, Larry. I put X's for the intersections that were already discussed with Rock to just as a quick little It's not the best, but it's at least something visual.
Appreciate the map.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to talk to Dan about if he's been able to get a hold of Rock or kind of where we're sitting there. A couple of streets that we're looking at, if we could pull something off yet this year, would be River. Is Benton the one that goes all the way north?
Yeah.
Benton,
Finish it out.
yeah. And there's a couple others in town that if we had any excess, one down by the park and then that one by the water tower. But it's all going to depend on whether we can get a hold of the Rock and whether we get the funds.
I thought this one here, close to it, on the west side of this.
Spencer.
Oh, no. What's there?
Spencer?
There's where the street there is.
Up there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking from the grade school west down to Noble. It's one block back.
That's hard. That's concrete though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not talking about the same place.
Oh.
Grade school's right here.
Oh.
We did this way, but we did the block and then this way.
Yeah.
Is that,
Is that Whitney?
Webster.
Gee, there's a map there. Oh, it's
Can't
not.
read it.
Unbelievable.
Can't read it.
Speaking of maps,
Yeah.
where's our giant maps?
Print it. I'll print it.
I'll make it
Which one is
nicer
that?
before you print it.
Okay.
This one, is that?
Directly over here. Next street over.
Oh, where,
Mhm.
okay. Walls
Mortuaries here.
Well, those are-
Right there.
those
The
are
options,
some
yeah.
of the more crucial ones. I mean, it's just a question of whether or not we could get somebody to come in, whether we could get the Rock.
We've
And
got the 2 blocks we cut off on Francis that are pretty good shape too. From the last project. I think we could fund enough to
To chip seal? Yeah.
Because he was talking about double
chip
doing
in.
it.
double on the one up by the water tower.
Maybe the water
Same with
tower
this
and
one
that.
here.
The others, they thought they could just do regular chip seal and patch and chip seal.
Well, did you, I guess, on the clerk report, we can wait till Dan gets here to talk the streets if that's.
I'm aware of, other than.
Oh, you want me to bring this up while we're waiting for Dan?
Why not?
All right. Leanne typed up, have written up these notes for me. Jen had noticed that the overall increase in the cash from the mill levy was incorrect on the budget. The auditors were including the library, which is given from the county and should not have been included in the calculation. Upon further review, the mill levy formula in the notes area of the workbook was calculating a 3.5% increase, not a 3%. The total increase was actually 3.88% once the calculations were fixed. To correct the mill levy to a 3.04%, a slight increase of $3,000 to the general fund from the utility fund was made. The mill levy total is now 31.653 instead of 31.88. So, there was a few minor adjustments to the budget after our last meeting. Everybody fine with that?
Yeah.
So do I have a motion to accept the filed clerk report?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'll second by Larry, all in favor? Council comments, Bud?
I got one probably coming up the next time about our EVs. I want to get with you on this first.
Okay. Hale?
Just my only comment already made basically was about the maps, getting those down so we can start
No.
drawing them up.
Say it again,
Was
please.
it
The
Lauren?
maps, the big
Oh,
Need a
printouts.
oh, sure.
Like the last time.
We can draw on, yeah. Yeah. And then it seems like we still have tons of dog problems everywhere. Stray dogs at the park, at the Riverwalk, the pond, off leash. I know I probably should talk to Cody about that stuff. anyway, it's still a problem. Always. That's about all I got.
Larry?
The only thing I've got, concert in the park is Saturday, September 7th. And Jake Gill's coming in. He's an up-and-coming country singer. And next Tuesday's opening for him. Starts at 6 o'clock. Vendors, live music, and a good time. Hope everybody comes out.
And are we putting the sheriff thing on another meeting, or are we doing a special? Or side meeting?
I think we need to have Lauren here
I think definitely need
Yeah.
her.
and
Because she's
Dan,
municipal.
get everybody here, yeah.
So I didn't know if we would just do
Yeah,
it
we
in a
just
regular meeting, or
talk about
Do
it
it
next
this-
meeting for a
the
while.
next meeting, or have Cody, since Cody was just here, come the second meeting in September. We get him once a month.
just so we.
We had talked about that at one time, having
Keep-
Lauren come the first
have it
meeting of the
here.
month and him the second, and then that,
Get it done.
And that
Yeah.
kind of fizzled never.
I kind of like to have her insight of one meeting, the next one, and then circle back around and have Cody come.
And have maybe both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. We can. First meeting in September, visit with Lauren, and then the second meeting we see if Cody can come back. Okay.
So we discuss it at the next meeting. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Just discuss. Get her insight and then.
I should remember something probably to you guys.
No, Darren, did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay, Justin.
Going back to immigration. Where are we at? Are we doing a resolution? Or are we just?
Did you look at those other ones?
I just looked at the one from the Colby one. The one was awesome.
And I don't know, because I asked Scott and he couldn't find that one from Wallace County. Let me see if I can call them. Probably in the office. No, I don't know.
Did Lauren ever weigh in?
I don't really,
There was a email, but I don't understand. I
Yeah,
don't understand
there's-
what we're doing.
kind of
From Lauren?
I don't know who it was. Well, yes, brought it in
Yeah.
here, but it was just, I didn't understand. Don't go, or what?
yeah, it was kind of a
No.
mixed between.
Yeah.
I've got,
Yeah.
Justin and I both are kind of mixed.
Maybe see if she can decipher it to us, or
Yeah.
to you or something.
Yeah.
My other question was the lot west of Angle Road and south of the elevator buildings. Do we mow that? The city?
You talking about where the drainage goes through?
Along the river there? Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
south of
drainage.
the elevator?
Yeah, south of the elevators.
Where those concrete, where the tank used to
Yeah,
be?
those tanks used to sit. Who owns that?
That's co-op.
Because are we mowing that for the co-op?
Do we know that?
Why are we mowing the co-op's property? And I guess I think that ditch needs to be dug out there as well for the drainage. It's in bad shape.
On the other side?
Yeah. Well, same side, but further down the road. That drainage just doesn't
Where
work.
that, by the concrete place?
No, not quite there. No, there's another one.
North of there?
About midway on, what's the street again? Webster? Would be the Webster and River. Is that Webster right back here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Webster and River.
But not the Spencer one.
No, not the Spencer one. That one I think is already being.
Yeah, that one got cleaned out.
Those are being cleaned out. But there's one at the end of Webster that's packed full. There's a grate there. Packed completely full. The other side of it is grown up with weeds and grass, and basically full. It probably needs dug out too.
Oh yeah, did we get bids for our trees trimmed?
Oh,
Yeah, Dan and I have.
Dan hasn't had a chance to look at it yet, has he?
No, there's no scope yet.
Oh,
So we couldn't put it out yet.
okay. I didn't.
Did we decide anything about the sidewalk?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Who owns existing sidewalk?
Yeah.
Put it in, don't put it in? Go to curb.
There's a
don't go
lot
curb.
of areas that don't have sidewalks in the same block.
And I'd like to double check on that. I just,
I don't think it's.
But I feel
closer
like
to the park.
we've made other people put sidewalks back
Yeah.
in.
So on the sidewalks, I went ahead and uploaded the original ordinance, 270, and then it was amended for one area of town.
Park Hill Edition, I believe.
The Park Hill edition. It's 270 is the only one. With 291 is the amendment of it that shows the specifications that are required for the sidewalks that I could find. I could not find any plat maps or anything like showing sidewalks. Basically says that, you know, they have to be either 3 foot or 4 foot wide. They have to match in line with the rest of their neighbors on the street, and everybody on the street must sign a petition. So
Petition for what?
for the sidewalk, like I have.
But
file
there's nothing that
folders.
says you have to put one in.
It says that to match the neighbors.
Yeah.
If you put one in.
Yes, if you put one in. It does state in the code about reconstruction, basically you have to put it back to grade, it still has to be in line with the rest of your neighbors. I know that Terrence wanted to move his to the street and to the curb, which would put it out of line even though it's broken by an alley. So I think on that one, that would be a call by you guys. That's how I read it.
Except that it doesn't adjoin to the front.
Well, that would be his, it would.
Yeah.
Because it would come, if he went along the curb,
Mhm.
it would butt up, even though it's not out to the curb and it would still match up. I guess without Lauren being here, I think
Yeah.
maybe we should wait and
Yeah, probably
really
we
see
don't
what
have
we
to.
can. Kayla, are you talking this right here?
Yeah.
That is owned by the equity.
Yeah, and the drainage I'm talking about is right there.
Yeah, this thing that, yeah.
And this culvert here, this gutter.
Yeah, this is, this actually is.
That's all it's been. Okay. I guess we're mowing it.
Are we charged them?
I guess we'll have to find it.
We just need to call somebody at the equity and ask.
I think we need to stop mowing it if it's not.
Or start billing them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a real.
We bill them.
Ask him.
We can ask the boss now.
The boss is here.
Finally here, we just adjourned.
We were about
Sorry,
ready to
you were
close.
too late.
Good night. It's all right.
Do you want building permits?
We didn't have any.
Yeah, we have 3.
John, we're almost out of here.
Oh no.
Is that all good?
I think so.
Did you get that one down on First Street?
Huh? Oh.
No.
Take one pass around.
Huh? Down, just west or east of the pool on the corner. Right?
That building.
I missed right there. Any problems with any of them?
I don't see a problem.
We are motion to accept the approve the building permit.
So,
Third.
By Justin, second by Larry.
Justin Larry or Justin?
What's that?
Justin Larry or Justin?
I don't know, Larry. Justin Larry. Larry Justin.
Okay, so on the papers I just passed out, the first one's streets that Justin and I looked at to have chip sealed. They can do it probably the second or third week of September if we want to do it.
Can you get the rock?
If I let them know today, tomorrow, the rock will be sealed. So we'd have 400 ton of rock at 63.44, so 25, 37, 60 would be how much the rock is, and then their proposal's here for 63,360. And I know there's other streets that could use it way worse, but this is what we could possibly pull off getting patched in time. This is something that went real bad.
Is that the one that doubles? Is that getting double?
No.
Or double?
Which one was it?
One of those.
Is that first? Is that this one?
Yeah.
So that's her boy.
Yeah. Is that
I think we're
double?
gonna try single and see what happens, and then go back if we need to. Well, until we'll see when they look at it. If they say that it ain't worth doing, then we got other streets we can move to.
Is that the water tower street?
Yes.
One's a Water Tower Street, but the one he was talking about was Spencer, up there by Dairies. We thought we'd try it. Once he looks at it and just says it's not worth doing.
And then one up in Sunny Hill?
Yeah, that's Jackson Street. We got a lot of that one already patched, so. Then the 2 blocks of Webster. Don't get what we have with me, but we're gonna try it anyway. See what it does, see if we can save it. Then all river and all of that, or the rest remaining of what's left of it. And that's what this would cover.
And price
The price is $63,360 for the chip seal.
oh, there it is. Sorry.
25, $376 for the rock.
Is this just about as much as they did already, or is it a little bit more?
Yeah, it's about the same, I think. So I guess total we'd be looking at $88,736. I think you take that out of the infrastructure improvements.
What's everybody's thoughts?
That is.
Is that a motion?
I moved. I think.
Third, fourth, fifth.
By Gail, second by Justin. Third by Larry, and who else wants to chime in?
Fourth by Mike.
Did I miss a great
Fifth by
meeting?
Jen.
Oh,
I just think it's a great idea if we get some more done this fall. And we gear up for next year.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have more time to patch that next year. And we might want to do some crack fill this winter.
Yeah.
You don't see any issues getting this done in time?
No, most of the streets we pick shouldn't take a lot. We may throw a whole crew out on Friday or something. Unless trees blow over or something.
Yeah.
It's a kink in the plans.
Good deal. Thanks, Dave.
And then the Dutton Lansing land, this is just, so if we buy 24 of the water meters, we can get them for $149.24 a piece. Or if we buy one at a time, it's going to be $191. So we're saving almost $1,000.
Plus freight each time, right?
What's freight?
I said plus freight each
Oh,
time.
yeah, plus freight
So
each-
it's going
yes.
to be cheaper on freight as well.
Correct. And that's probably 6 or 7 months worth. It's about how fast they're going to go through it lately.
25? 6 or 7 months?
I'm doing 2 to 3 a month, it seems like, for some reason. So I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense to order in bulk.
so that would be, I thought I had it written down.
Yes, I'll make a motion.
Hmm?
And the actual price.
$3,581.76 for 24 of them.
That's shipped?
Plus
freight.
Plus
freight.
Plus freight.
And you want that paid out on?
I'm not sure what we have in water. We had that. We can go to capital improvements. No, I don't know. I haven't looked.
I would probably take that out of water. Those are supplies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kel made the
If we
motion to.
have it.
Kel made the motion to pay that plus freight out of water for a second. Do I get
Second.
by Dara?
Our last water leak on North Street, I forgot to call anybody about it. We just fixed it. We had to use it's called an encapsulating sleeve it's for like the bells, because it was on the bell pipe. So we found one for $1,120 plus freight, so I went ahead and ordered it. We was gonna order from Blue Wick and they wanted $2,500, so we found this one. I was like, yeah, let's just order. But it really saves you the problems of having to shut down the town and do water samples and all that. So we went to, huh? No, it was cast iron with rubber seals on it. I'll show you a picture sometime. Then the sign that we talked about for 202 Washington, Justin says that they can't go as deep on the north side as they want to go, so they might have to. He suggested maybe going down 2 foot and bolting it into the concrete sleeve.
So,
And
when
put on
they
the
were gonna
side
go 3
hours
foot?
that they were
They want to go 4 foot down, I think.
Maybe I missed 3 or 4.
They
It's been a
had
while,
sign
but
out
yeah.
Where the tree used to be.
Oh,
They
yeah.
needed to go down to, basically it'll go in,
Oh, yeah.
so they can't go down.
They can't go down as far as they want to on the north one, so they would be able to go down part way and then just thought they could bolt it. If you guys were good with it.
Yeah.
And then
What do you mean on the north one?
there's going to be 2 posts in there and the sign in the middle.
That was just gonna,
It's because of the electric or something on the north side.
they needed to be able to remove it though.
They talk like the posts are going to stay. The way they talk today. We're supposed to have a meeting with them tomorrow, so that's what I'm trying to find
Cause I
out.
thought they were just gonna put, well, the posts were gonna stay in the ground, but then they were gonna slide,
the sign
the
slides on
signs
top,
will
I
slide
believe.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sign will slide into where the sign can come out, but the actual anchor, the post in the ground to anchor it won't stay in there.
But I'm not sure if we're not ever putting another tree back in there, if we need to leave it unconcreted around there. Or... That was the other thing I was thinking.
Put concrete back. Is what you said?
Do
Well, I guess we can leave it for now until we get kind of more of an
see where we're
idea.
at?
Because if we're gonna do
We could
More
put
than-
the watering system in again and all that stuff. Oh, it didn't? I thought it had water.
Craig Field.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, there is some water down there in different pits, but that's not one of them.
Okay.
It would have the electric and stuff in it. Though.
Yeah.
Okay, chips. I will. Let's see. Eventually, I'm gonna have to get some stuff for the sweeper. I'm guessing 6,000 to 10,000 to fix it finally. But I'll have to get prices for you guys. I didn't have time today. So.
How old is the sweeper?
How old is it? Probably 2002.
You have to ship it off?
Most of it we can fix here, I think. It's like the elevator and stuff that picks everything up. John and I rebuilt it last time, so I think we can fix most of it here. I'll ship it off. Once in a while, hydraulics kicking out, but I'm going to have Anders look at that before I ship it off, so he can see something. But I don't need a motion now. I'm just giving you a heads up that it's possibly going to come up eventually. And the air conditioner's on, so that needs to be fixed. I did talk to Cindy Ham today, and she said she trimmed her tree yesterday. But if it needs trimmed more, let me know. And then I've got these 2 trailers down. I know we talked about replacing the small dump truck. We thought maybe we could just do a dump trailer instead of a dump truck. Not have all the maintenance on the truck. But they're, so for the 16-foot trailer, it's $12,900. And for the 14-foot, it's $11,500.
Bigger's better, right?
Well, and we can haul this, the way I understand, we'll be able to haul the mini and stuff in it too, also.
Size big enough for everything you need it for?
I think so. I don't know, we have equipment reserve.
It's a lot less than you were looking at for truck.
Yeah, truck with it.
Like truck we mow, and then you don't know what you're getting until you get it
Yeah,
home.
exactly.
Right.
Kind of like the trash truck.
This is like brand new, you know, this is a
Yeah.
Hitchcock could do.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah, but the school.
they were good.
Which one do you prefer, the bigger one?
I prefer the 16s, like 83. Just because we can haul more tree limbs and stuff.
Fair motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Derek, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay.
I need a motion, not a second.
Oh, yeah, probably
Check just in
recycle.
case.
I'll move to pay it out a second.
And out of equipment reserve, correct?
Equipment
Yeah.
reserve,
Okay. Moved by Larry, second by Kale. One more motion on that, we get Bud in there and everybody can motion on this trailer. Motion for Dan to go pick it up, I don't know.
Bring breakfast.
I'll just sneak out someday and get it. But, and then I do need 10 minutes executive session for application review and wages.
With who in the room?
Everybody can be in the room, I don't care.
Dan, are we mowing the Equities lot?
What lot?
Come here, I have it pulled up if you want to look at it.
By Webster and... Why is this so funny?
If we are, it's because I don't know it's the
Here,
equities.
pull me on. This right here.
Apparently
There's
that's the
Main
Equities.
Street. There's Webster, there's where that drainage, there's the old pool.
So clear down to Bronx almost?
Right, this is where that turquoise is,
Right.
that right in there.
Where's Bronx at? He's down here more.
Down by
That's
the-
Brock, yep. That's Brock, right here, these two are Brock.
I don't know if we mow all this back here. I know we mow this down here and we mow this strip here, but I don't know about this
No.
right here. This is where the ditch is? Is that the ditch?
Looks like it.
I know they were mowing on that side of it the other day, but we probably mow a lot of that, yeah.
Oh,
Alright, well you don't have to anymore.
yeah.
Send me that.
Okay, I will.
I'm sure my guys will have no problem hauling it.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to send the, putting it letters, we're not gonna mow it, or just wait till it.
Just don't
send
mow.
them a-
Just wait till
don't
it
mow
gets
it and
tall
then
and send them a letter.
send them
The weed letter.
When did you say they were going to be able to do chip seal?
Either the second or third week of September.
Route 36 garage sale.
When is that?
Third week in September.
It's on the weekend.
It's on,
The-
it's a
isn't it?
Thursday,
Thursday,
Friday.
Friday, Saturday, and people usually even set up Tuesday, Wednesday. You're just gonna have extra traffic.
Well, I'll just-
It'd be the 19th, 20th, and 21st.
But
and
it's
then-
like what they did the day before. You won't even know they're even there. They were
Yeah.
done it early.
Yeah, that
Well,
was fast.
I'll let
Just,
them know that, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have extra people in town and,
you said the
people-
19th when
19th.
it starts?
yeah.
Okay.
But you probably the 18th, you're,
Huh?
You weren't even gonna be here.
I know. That's why, I mean, I'm hoping it'll be the second weekend and hopefully we can get the rock that quick. But
yeah.
So So, how long you need?
5 minutes.
10 minutes.
10?
I thought you
Let's
said 5.
let's do 5. We'll see if we can get 5. I'll talk fast.
So we ready? I'm going to go into executive session for 5 minutes coming out at 8:36 for the purpose of
Application review and wages.
application review and wages.
Second.
Moved by Larry, second by Kale. All in favor? We're out of executive session. No decisions were made. Motion to adjourn. Did we cover everything? Dan, did you get everything you needed to cover? I guess we didn't.
Do we need to make a motion to hire?
For the increases?
Yeah.
Do we need to wait until make sure they accept before we? I mean, I guess we would.
I don't know how we do it.
Don't really want to
You don't want to
say a
public.
name.
Yeah, you don't want public.
The person we discussed.
I guess we can.
Applicant we discussed.
I'll move to hire the applicant we discussed
Yeah.
at the wages we discussed.
Moved by Larry, second by Kale.
Second.
And then I guess we have a motion to approve the wage increases for the other two employees.
So,
Moved by Kale, second by Justin, all in favor? Anything else, Dan?
nope.
Do I have a motion to accept and file the superintendent report?
So moved.
Moved by Larry, second by Justin. Anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Anything else we have?
Moved by Kale. Second by Larry. All in favor?
About fell over.
Motion.